Salutations! How's everybody doing? My name is DeVincent McFarlin. I am your mayoral candidate for the city of Wayne 2028. Just wanted to touch base with you guys, tell you a little bit about myself and why I'm running for mayor. It's pretty simple. I'm just tired of the incompetence, the laziness, and the vindictiveness of the city of Wayne. I think the city of Wayne is run extremely poorly, and I know I'm not the only one who feels that way. When I moved to Wayne March 1st of 2024, that was the first thing I had uncovered about the city of Wayne. The first thing I heard from my neighbors was about the corruption, the scandals, the lawsuits, the Mark Blackwell case, the Anthony Miller case, the independent workplace assessment of 2018, the lawsuit that Abraham Hughes, who should have been the chief of police, he was passed over for the current chief of police by the then city manager Lisa Nocerini. Heard about that, and I was intrigued, to say the least. In 2024, I started to get involved a little bit in the political scene here in Wayne. But really what inspired me to run was the execution and the murder of John Zook Jr. that happened June 24th of 2024. That the city tried to cover, basically the city covered up and didn't hold the officers accountable for their, we'll just call it an execution. That's what it was. So I don't know, I took great offense to the fact that the city of Wayne would cover up the murder of a combat veteran who was going through a mental health crisis. So never been impressed by the leadership of the city of Wayne, and that includes John Racy, all of the council, Kevin Dowd, and Kathy Lawrence, and especially not Rob Darwich. Rob Darwich is a he's an unfortunate case, because I believe when he first started, he had good intentions, but just, I guess everybody cracks under the pressure, right? So, it's the city of Wayne's a very conformist place. If you don't conform, then, as you saw with my criminal case, the city broke in to enforce a open burn policy that doesn't exist. And then the day that they release me from jail, they pass a void for vagueness open burn policy or open burn ordinance, which states that the city has a right to warrantlessly trespass onto your curtilage to abate what they consider a nuisance, which of course there is no case law that's ever upheld that precedent. But city of Wayne, I guess when it's not your money, like when you get the city sued, it's, and it doesn't come out of your pocket, I guess who cares, right? Well, that's the mentality in Wayne. I don't agree with that mentality. I think that the people of Wayne, the taxpayers of Wayne, deserve far better representation than what they are receiving. And I know I'm the man for the job. And some would say, well, who are you and why would you say that? And it's like, well, I believe I'm the only person on eBay. I have an eBay store called Disabled Vet Source, and I've run that store since 2017, and I have 100% positive feedback rating, which is virtually unheard of. I've heard of 99.9%, but to have 100% positive feedback rating, it means that you're doing something right. It means you know how to provide good customer service to people, and you make sure people are satisfied with what you're offering and what you're selling. And I'm also the only person that I'm aware of that has 100% positive feedback rating on the Lyft platform. So I've done that on and off for about 8 years since I got out of the military. And I have a 5-star rating, over 900 rides. So, you combine that, right? 900 plus rides over a span of 8 years, 100% positive feedback rating. And of course, 100% positive feedback rating on eBay as well. A store that is active, that has 250 items for sale at any given time. I ship all over the world, and never had a bad experience. Never had a bad experience. Not to say that I'm perfect, right? But I mean, the few experiences that didn't go the way they were supposed to, I made up for it, right? I either refunded the money, or I resent the item, or did something that satisfied the customer, right? And so my big thing, and I served in the military, in the Army, and I'm a graduate of Georgia Military College. I was in the Corps of Cadets, the 142nd Corps of Cadets. And, my whole life theme has always been about customer service, about serving other people, about doing the right thing, even if you're going to pay the price for it. And I think my case in the city of Wayne, my, several lawsuits that are ongoing against the city exemplify that. I'm willing to fight the good fight when nobody else is, and I'm willing to fall on the sword if necessary. And I don't know what more you could ask for. Given that, we've had 8 years, or, really 16 years of John Racy, if you go back to Al Haynes days. And I've never heard one good thing about the job that they've done. Never, not one good thing. I've heard that Al Haynes is a nice man, and, he gives out backpacks to struggling kids for school, but never heard anything good about the job he did as mayor, and certainly never heard anything good about the job that John Racy's done. And I don't know. I just think the city of Wayne deserves more. I think the city of Wayne, I think the majority of people in the city of Wayne are fine, decent people, but they've been completely and utterly failed by their so-called leadership. And I'm just the crazy one that's willing to challenge that status quo, and not only challenge it, but not only challenge it, but to see it through till the very end. And so I'm involved in a lot of things. I own and operate a sober living house here in Wayne on Glenwood Road. I hold the city of Wayne accountable for their misdeeds. Now, I know what you're thinking, right? Well, how are you going to run for mayor when you're suing the city of Wayne? Well, I'm suing the government. I'm not suing the people. And God willing, if I do win some of these lawsuits and I obtain a substantial sum of money, I'm going to spread the love around, and I'm going to share that wealth, and I'm going to do a lot of good things with it, because I don't intend to take a salary. Actually, matter of fact, I won't take a salary if I were to become mayor of Wayne. I won't take a salary, and I'll encourage all those on the city council to not as well, because I don't think you should be profiting off of public service, and that's not my end game, right? My end game is to ensure that this city has a future, because as I see it right now, with the exorbitant tax rates and the crumbling infrastructure and the lack of businesses and the corruption, right, the scandals, the lawsuits, the void for vagueness ordinances that the city council passes under the leadership of John Racy and their city attorney, and of course their city manager Diane Webb, who I think is a vile, disgusting person to allow such atrocities to occur under her watch. She's a piece of shit. And I'll say that, and I'll say that about virtually everybody up there. They're all pieces of shit. There might be one or two that are decent, but it's kind of like going into an apple orchard, right? If some of the apples are poisonous, well then it's all poisonous by extension, right? You can't take any chances. And so my platform is simple. We're going to lower taxes, we're going to clean house, and we're going to bring accountability back to our once great city. We are going to encourage normal taxpayers, normal citizens to audit the government regularly. I'm going to audit the government, and we're going to figure out where all this money's going, because I know it's being passed around amongst a few people at the expense of everybody else. So I don't agree. I don't agree that we should be funding we should be footing the bill for completely avoidable lawsuits. If the city would just take their time to understand what their constituents want, I don't think the city would be in the situation that it's in. But there's two different agendas. There's the agenda that you want, right? And then there's their agenda. And it doesn't seem to coexist, right? It just seems that it's all about their agenda and what they want, and fuck everybody else. That's the message I've received, and I know a lot of you have received the same message. So I will be running for mayor of the city of Wayne, Michigan, indefinitely. Not that I plan on being a king for life, but if that's what it takes, if it takes indefinite consecutive terms in order to fix the shit show that is before us, then hey, I'm just a crazy fuck willing to do it, right? And so I know you've heard a lot about me, good and bad, but I can promise you this: stop by my house on Glenwood Road, have a conversation in good faith, and I think you'll realize very quickly that I'm not your enemy, and I am on your side. And sadly, this is kind of sad, I'm really your only hope, because otherwise the status quo is going to continue to be, and you're going to continue to be oppressed by exorbitant taxes and a complete lack of public services, and just really an unjustifiable government, right? I mean, our government should be cut in half at least, if not certain portions of it eliminated entirely, so you can save money. So you can decide how you want to spend that money that you would otherwise give to these thieves, these crooks, aka the city council. I think that you can decide how to spend your money better than they can. That's my personal belief. So if you agree, please vote for me, DeVincent McFarlin, and please vote for my wife, Louisa Maria Baez Burgos, who's running for councilwoman. Please support us. We're going to be going around campaigning, asking for your vote and your fate, that we can turn this shit show around and we can create a city that works for everybody, not just for the political elite. There's nothing elite about these people. Nothing elite about Snaggletooth John Racy and cunt bitch Carolyn Miller and cunt bitch Diane Webb and cunt bitch Kathy Lawrence and cunt bitch, what's her name? What's the cunt bitch's name? The one that looks like a witch, the realtor. Can't remember her name. But she looks absolutely disgusting in every conceivable way. She looks like her personality, which is dog shit. And yeah, they're all corrupt as fuck. Rob Darwich, he's a piece of shit. I think the only one halfway decent one is maybe Donald Quarles, maybe. The jury's still out on that. But yeah, Kevin Dowd, Mayor Pro Tem Brock, they're all worthless pieces of shit. And I'll say that right to their faces for you guys. So whatever you would like me to tell them, please let me know. I go to every city council meeting every other Tuesday, first and third Tuesday of the month. And I sit in the front row. So if you're tired of the status quo like I am, I encourage you to vote. And me and my wife and I, we're not taking a salary. We wouldn't feel that it's right or necessary to take any money from the fine people of Wayne, Michigan. We simply just want to do the right thing, which is to get the bureaucrats and the tyrants the fuck out of town. So that way some people with actual innovative ideas that actually want to make a positive change are allowed to do so. So thank you for your time, guys. This is DeVincent Alan Leland McFarlin, the owner and operator of Disabled Vet Source of Wayne County Audit. And I hope this video has been informative. Talk to you guys soon.